Hey everybody, welcome back to Nick's Mini Bikes. Today we're going to finish up the fuel system on here. We're going to add a pulse pump and do all the plumbing for it. So let's just jump right in and get to it. So just a few things we're going to need. So we're going to have to change that carb isolator out and replace it with this one. It's where we're going to get our pulse for the pulse pump. And then we're going to need a pulse pump. And I picked up a few things. Got a fuel filter. We got a on-off valve. We got some clamps. We got some fittings for connecting to the bottom of the tank. And got some fuel line. So we're gonna start at the tank here by putting this fitting on. We're not gonna go crazy tight, but we want it to face the front of the bike. And the next piece we got is this one. And it's just gonna screw right on here. I've done some looking. There's not really a good place to put the pulse pump on here. I need it on this side of the bike. No matter where I put it, the inlets and the outlet are always facing the wrong direction. So I decided the best place for it is to just be right down here on the old motor plate. I'm gonna mount it something like that right there. If I go right there, I can use existing holes. This one here is your pulse inlet. That's your fuel inlet. And that's your fuel outlet. So I gotta have a fuel line going from there down to here. And that's gonna be a pretty straight shot. But then my outlet's facing the wrong way. It's gonna have to wrap all the way back around and come up to the top of the carburetor along with the pulse. It's gotta come all the way back around and up to the top of the dang carburetor. I don't really have a good place to put it. So yeah, this is gonna do for now. I don't really like it. But I do want this pump to be gravity fed from the tank, and then it can push the fuel up to the carburetor. If it was mounted upside down like this, it'd be better, but I still want it lower than the tank. So I mean, should I make something right here to mount that upside down? I can. I don't know. For now, we're gonna go right here and we'll just run lines like spaghetti. I'm gonna temporarily just screw this down with some of these. Just like that for now. I've got a bunch of pieces of hose here. I got some new hose, but I'm gonna see if any of my pieces will work before I start chopping into the new hose. Go there. That should work. It's gonna have some cuts in it too, because we're gonna put a shut-off valve and a filter before the pump. All right. I want full engagement on that nipple. I want the shut-off valve shortly after. And I want full engagement on that. So I'm gonna cut this piece right here. Get a clamp on there. Get our next clamp put on, and then we'll install our shut-off valve. Tighten that down. Now I'm gonna do a fuel filter on there. Same thing, probably just a little stretch of hose, just like that last one. Slide it on. We'll shut it off. Tighten our clamp down. Take our next clamp, and we'll slide it on. Take our fuel filter. It does have an arrow. You can you guys probably can't make it out, but it's right there. Saying the flow goes that way. Slide that on. Clamp it there. I do want this to kind of flow like that down, so that piece there is probably about right. Next piece of hose and clamp. Our last clamp on to the inlet of the pump. And we'll tighten that down. So I don't know if it's true, but I read that these pumps push, they don't pull very well. So by making a gravity feed to the pump, don't got to worry about it pulling, because gravity will do that for us. And then it'll push the fuel up to the carburetor, hopefully. So now we're gonna take the fuel line off of this little tank that we were using. Now we're gonna pull the carburetor off. So this is a stock GX390 carb isolator, and this is the replacement with the pulse fitting there. Turning all the way back to idle. Now we're ready to run our last two hoses. So we're going to start with our pulse hose. Get it on. We're going to run it up like this. I like to get it up underneath here, so maybe it's out of the way. Let's see if we can get it under there. Yeah, just like that. That's exactly what I wanted right there. I can just swoop it straight down like this to the pulse input on that pump. Push it on to that inlet. And last, we'll run the fuel line. Start it up here at the carburetor. Cut this one right here. All right, digging through my bolt bucket, I found 2 bolts and a couple nuts. And there we go. That ought to do it. That's the fuel system. It's all done. So the fuel will run into the pump here, be pushed through here into the carburetor. The pulse is going to come from the top of the carburetor here, right there. It's going to run through that hose there into the top of that pulse pump down there. So that's going to do it for this episode of Nick's Mini Bikes. Let me know what you think about the placement of this fuel pump. If you got any ideas, don't be shy. Leave them in the comment section, and we'll catch you next time. Thanks for watching. Make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe.